Okay, here's a quick tutorial on how to swap the nib unit for a Jowo number 6. I've got the section here. If you've got a cartridge converter, you'll want to make sure to remove that because that holds the nib unit in place from the other end of the section. But you can simply grasp, everybody has a personal preference here. Some like to hold the nib unit between their thumb and forefinger like this. I actually prefer to hold it from the sides, gently either way, no matter which you choose to do. And then the whole nib unit actually unscrews, so you can turn. I generally hold the nib unit and turn the section, as you can see. And then it just slides out, so that you can see the nib unit itself is threaded, and there are threads down in the section that receive that. If you need to remove the feed and the nib itself from the housing, you can similarly grasp and apply pressure to remove those. You're doing it carefully because you don't want to damage the plastic fins on the feed, but hopefully it'll be visible here on camera. You can see that the nib housing, it actually has for the Jowo number 6, there's a correct way to put it in. You can see here at the top on the sides, it's a little bit wider. That holds the nib, whereas the feed rests down below that, and you'll see that the feed itself is flat. It's not completely round. It's flat on one end. That's the bottom. So when you place the nib and the feed together, you're going to line it up about like that. You don't want it to protrude beyond where the fins are. So when you're ready, you just hold it. You get your orientation correct there. So you can see I've got that wider part is at the top. This flat area is right there at the bottom to receive the flat part of the feed. And you'll know quickly if you've got it wrong because it won't go in the wrong way. And then you just slide it in. And you see that little notch right there. Gives you an idea of if you've got it in far enough. And of course you want your feed centered on the tines there. So that's it. That's how to take apart that nib unit. And then when you're ready to put it in back in your section, you just slide it in, and you kind of push it into a point, and then you can feel the resistance, and that's when it's time to screw it the rest of the way in. And you can see, depends on the maker. Sometimes it's flush. Sometimes it'll protrude a little bit, about like that. But in this case, it goes pretty much flush. And there's some it'll actually recess, countersink a little bit. It just depends on the particular pen maker and how they crafted the section. So there you go. All you need to know to swap your Jowo number 6 nib units. Thanks.